What do you mean? Hi. Good evening. What do you mean? Why did that Hi, good evening. Let me go back. Hello Berry, hello Para, hello Chicken, hello Hugs, hello Circuit, hello Cliff, hello Tremental, hello Pluvium. Hi, good evening. I can't believe I'm being burnt at stake and I haven't even started. I haven't even started properly. How dare you? Okay, I just some context for that Pomni and Jack's post. Instead, how have you changed from being a rat to a castle? But hi blue rats. Okay, that artist, Ikimaru, who drew the Jackson Pomni art, is one of like the original most famous Homestuck fan artists of like 2013. And they have cute art, okay? Like, would you rather I reblog like the Voltron fan art they make? Cause I don't know anything. Or the Genshin, they do Genshin as well actually. They do like Scaramouche X Totalia or something. Anyway, it's nice art, okay? Leave me alone. The second sin, it was looking for raid, okay? It was looking for raid. Okay, the problem with the Genshin pictures is that I do not ship Scaramouche and Tartaglia. That is not a ship that I even slightly approve of. Jackson Pomni, I can understand. Scaramouche and Tartaglia, no. Absolutely not. The Yandere BF game? No, Voltron's, well, the Voltron that I'm speaking specifically about was like some Netflix cartoon. So I never watched it, so I can't really tell you more than that. It's 10 buttons you can tell the way through. Liz, it was, I'd never done Mana Forge Omega before, and so I just couldn't be bothered, and I was paying more attention to not standing in shit that gets me killed. Okay? So I was just spamming one button. Okay, let me, in a serious raid, I would actually press the buttons, but it was frickin' looking for raid. I was still getting, like, 3rd to 5th top DPS, so whatever, fight me about it. Ret Pally Enjoyer. Anyway, hi, how we doing? Hi, sorry I died. Again, for the millionth time. Topping the DPS charts and I'm looking for group raid. Listen, I had been really anxious I've been really anxious with not having recount or details or whatever it is, that my DPS was like absolutely bottom tier. Like I was genuinely like not contributing anything, and that anytime I went into heroics I was like risking being kicked from the party for being absolute garbage. So I was quite surprised by being pretty high up in the looking for group stuff. Okay, let me have my small victory, you snarky bastard. Thank you. Anyway, hi. I was a little bit worried. I wasn't gonna. I made the post yesterday, like, 95% chance of streaming, and then I woke up at 6 a.m. and the day before, yesterday, my mum asked me for help. She was like, she was like, how do you do this thing in Excel? You know how to do Excel. And I was like, oh, okay. You like you have to do conditional formatting and do all this kind of stuff. And I messaged her that when I woke up at 6 a.m. And she was like, do you want to come to work with me? Like, and I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, you know what? I have slept. Yeah, sure. I can. Yeah. I'll come to your workplace. I'll do the spreadsheet thing, and as long as you like take me there and take me home, like, yeah, sure. So yeah, I woke up at 6 a.m. and went to my mom's work to go to do spreadsheet stuff, and then she took me back home. Did you have a good day at work? I mean, I was successful. I did my task. And I made my mum's life a lot easier. Yeah, it was fine. It was a success. It was big spreadsheets. My mum's task was like to compare all of the data in the spreadsheets between two spreadsheets and try and see any differences. And let me tell you, it was like pure text. Like, it was so heavy on text. Like, searching through that manually, like, would genuinely be a nightmare, even for me, who I love spreadsheets. I love doing really like stupid manual tasks on spreadsheets. So yeah, I feel very accomplished. I made it so my mum didn't strain her eyes. Puri has a job. No, I don't have a job. I have had jobs though. I worked. Oh no, I'm still employed. They didn't hire me. I just I just helped my mum out. That's all. But no, I worked all the way from like 2012, 13, either 2012, 2013, all the way up to COVID. So literally like 16 years old up until COVID. But yeah, COVID, I haven't had a job since I lost the one during COVID. Don't call me a hag. I'm not there yet. I am 28. 29 now. I'm 29 now. It was my birthday. I haven't streamed since before my birthday. My dad got me, I can't use it on stream because it's a reflective. My dad got me a little airbrush for my miniature painting. My dad got me a tiny little airbrush with a mini compressor and stuff, so I can do, I can try and learn how to use a freaking airbrush. 16 in 2013, forgot you were 8. You're so mean to me. Catching up in 2 days. Let's go! Man. Wait, does everyone know, have you seen the Japanese look calendar? Like, find your birthday on the Japanese look calendar to see what kind of look you have, next year. I can't remember exactly what mine was, but I'm on the first page, so I'm in the first, like, top third of look for next year. No? How will you know? How will you know? If I get older, I might die. You're not gonna. What do you mean? You're not that old, I don't think. Oh, that reminds me though. I got a Hugs jump scare actually the other day. I don't know if Hugs noticed, but I got a Hugs jump scare the other day. And by the other day, I think I mean 2 days ago. I've been playing. I'm literally 47 years old. That's not that old, is it? That's like. Are you? Wait, are you actually? That's still not that old. I'm not that much of a weeb. You don't have to be a weeb to follow look calendars. But yeah, I got a jump scare. I was minding my own business. No, I wasn't. I was playing WoW. I was playing WoW. And I was AFKing. I just finished doing some task in World of Warcraft. I'm like staring at a time glass while I do something on my other monitor. And I noticed someone appear behind me. I noticed a Blood Elf warrior just spawn in behind me. I'm like, huh. And then I'm like, their name. And it was, I was caught very by surprise. I'm sorry, I don't find out this. I wasn't expecting it because, like, Donegal is not a small city, and the visions of Stormwind are just one very specific corner of it. So it was very much a like a what the heck small world question mark. Actual. It's a daily it's a weekly, isn't it? I only I only do it once a week. I'd rather do the original visions of Azeroth. But yeah. Play World of Warcraft and have weird middle of nowhere encounters with me. where I will get jump scared. They added 30 different quest icons, I don't know what they mean. The blue one... Yeah, I don't know if there is actually a difference between the icon between a weekly and a daily, to be honest. I know they're both blue, but that's kind of it. But I think it's just a weekly. Either way, I only do it once a week. There's only so many times I can run around Stormwind or Orgrimmar before I'm like, fuck off. Don't play games from before my consent. It is World of Warcraft's 21st anniversary, so yeah, I guess some of you can be younger than that. World Alliance, I don't think she's ever gonna play again. Oh no, why? Why did Grab roll Alliance? Not this shitty FOMO leveling event? Oh, are you talking about Remix? I've also been playing Remix, because I still have to get all the mount rewards from Remix. I think I've got... mount... So wolf people. I see. I see. Of course, Gravity Wolf would. No, tell her that she can play a shaman and have wolf form. Have wolf form in any. Pluvium, I'm not letting that sentence through. I'm not letting that sentence through. You can figure out a nice. What the f. Don't ask that. Don't ask that, you. Unbelievable. No, you can't word it like that either. Anyway, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more mounts to get from Remix. And then I'll be done with it. Remix was kind of fun at the start, but now I'm like, I need so much freaking bronze. It's a pain in the ass. What is Remix? What if the only expansion was Legion? What if the only expansion was Legion and there was nothing else? There was nothing else but Legion. That's what Remix is. Just wait till it ends and get double bronze. Wait, what? You get double bronze at near the end? I don't know, I wasn't playing during Pandaria Remix. I missed Pandaria Remix. I didn't even know it was happening. 2 reasons to play Alliance. The knowledge that gnomes are the super... No, incorrect. And being a furry. Neither of those are good reasons to play Alliance. Neither of those are good reasons to play Alliance. I hate gnomes. Don't say that, Pluvium! Spyro flying quests in the Dragon expansion were fun. Yeah, they still have them in the World Within. You still can fly around. No idea what happened in Legion other than they killed Tyrion like a bitch and killed Varian. Oh, we defeated the Legion. We defeated the Legion. That's what we did. Also, it's fine for Tyrion to die because it means that I'm the High Lord now. It's me. Easy access to gold. Shut up. Even silly people can have opinions. Anyway, sorry. World of Warcraft is in my brain. I literally was playing World of Warcraft up to about 10 minutes before stream started because I was like, oh no, I haven't done Sepulchre of the first ones, and reset is literally like potentially gonna happen while I'm streaming. I need to get it together and do that, do the content that I'm meant to do. What the fuck is Sepulchre of the first ones? It is a Shadowlands raid in Zereth Mortis. And it drops a mount called Cypher of the first ones, I think? Whoa, hi Gravity. Where is it? Reputation. Ah, raid drop. Yeah. Oh, Cypher of the Zereth Overseer. When is the WoW stream? So I haven't been thinking about doing any of the my weekly raid stuff on stream for a little bit because I convinced Havoc and Law and Autumn and a couple of other people to play WoW, get it and get a subscription just for 1 month. So I've been doing the raids with them, and obviously I don't want to just drag them onto stream without their permission. But I believe their sub is running out this week, a lot of them. So I'll probably be doing the content on my own again. So I will think about streaming it. Soon have Fury back. I've not been dead for World of Warcraft reasons. For a little bit it was temperature reasons. If they quit WoW, does that mean you can join your guild? Yeah. I mean, didn't I already say you could join the guild? You said you didn't want to because you didn't want to be the only viewer? So many forced WoW subscriptions. Yeah, I'm mean. I'm very mean to my friends. I drag them into everything with me. VTubing, I did it. World of Warcraft, I've done it. If I trick someone into playing WoW on EU servers like Gravity, then yeah, yes, you can. Yes, you can join my guild. My ancient guild, beautiful. No. I encourage you to somehow be incredible gold merchants in World of Warcraft so you can pay for your subscriptions using in-game gold. Unfortunately, I've got no freaking idea how to make money in World of Warcraft because I just don't know how to make money. So I'm poor as hell, so I can never afford to, well, like, getting WoW tokens is not possible. Get another Brazil. How are you getting trolled by Brazilians? $500 auction house add-ons and game the market. I don't know how to do it. Or become mythic carry, as in me carrying people through mythics. What's stopping you? Blue Reds, you can do it anyway. Just start trolling Pluvium right now. Are you engaging in a multi-level marketing scheme? No. No, I'm not. I just like World of Warcraft. I just like World of Warcraft. I just realised I don't have all my chats of it open. There we go. Anyway, sorry for talking about WoW. I like it. Spencer said, what the heck? Yeah, I am sorry. I don't really know. I don't really know what happened these past couple weeks that, like, I just didn't exist to stream. But hi. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm not dead. I'm just still doing my best, whatever that may be. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for your patience. You may be bad. Could go on hiatus. This is my catchphrase. It's okay. So that's what we're now clearly obsessed with. I just don't know. I haven't only been playing WoW. Okay? I haven't been only playing WoW. In fact, I did like a whole... I almost like didn't do all of my weekly stuff for a week because I did lose an entire week. I did lose an entire week. I'm not 100% sure what I lost it to. That happens sometimes. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm alive. Sometimes my brain just goes for a walk and I don't... Oh! Yeah, it probably was the Yandere game. Yeah, no, you're probably right. Well, it's not a Yandere game, it just has a character in it that is a Yandere that you still won't tell us about. Sorry, I winced. I can't. I can't. Leave that stuff for what? Leave yanderes for December? What? I'm not. Yanderes are a year-round thing. Okay. It's a werewolf game. I mean, given that I did draw Daphne in that little image, that's not an unreasonable assumption to make. That's not an unreasonable assumption to make. I feel like 9. Little image? Yeah. You know, the drawing I did. Did I miss it? Hello, Ray. No, I haven't started. I haven't started reading. I've been distracted. I am scrolling. I'm scrolling through my blog. Okay, that's where I started talking about. Ah, here we go. Here we go. This. It's a fucked up link. Whatever. This image. There's Daphne is there. Would we know it the second you said the name? I don't know. You have a blog? Yeah, I got a blog. Don't follow it unless you're prepared for me whining and complaining and whining and complaining and whining and complaining. I love complaining. Yeah, and human Jack's posting, I guess. Sounds like VTuber Twitter. Well, see, I hate Twitter, so I habitually neglect my Twitter. Random cursed art? Wait. Which art are you referring to? Are you still referring to the Jax Pomni art, or are you referring to like a different piece of cursed art? What else did I reblog? Did some blog something that was popular 20 years ago? Yeah, catch me on Live Journal or whatever. Twitter sucks. Real! I hate Twitter. I was having a conversation with my singing teacher about Twitter actually. And he was like, yeah, I don't really use Twitter. And I'm like, yeah, no, I would rather not. I also would rather not use Twitter, but as a VTuber I kind of have to. Because that's where all the VTubers are. However, I still neglect it. Going to Twitter but purple? Wait, what is purple Twitter? I don't know. What the hell is purple Twitter? Tumblr? Tumblr is blue, you whatever. How many singing lessons do you have left? I could finish at any time now. I could stop taking singing lessons and at any moment if I wanted to, but like my quote unquote contract is complete. But I mean, I want to keep on taking singing lessons, so. I have to sleep so I can catch fish. So sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a yapper. I love talking, and especially when I haven't streamed in 2 weeks, and so I haven't gotten any conversation out of my system at all. Twitter is what you choose to put on your timeline, though. I mean, it's not that my Twitter is like, but like I see bad content. It's just that, well, most of what is on my Twitter is going live notifications and schedules. Which is fine, like I don't mind that. It's just not very interesting to me. And I try and keep my following on Twitter to like just VTuber stuff. Because I'm not really interested in having a super long Twitter feed to scroll through. Tumblr is like Twitter but replaced with Yowie. The thing is about Tumblr is that no one... There's no numbers. I can't give 5. That's also true. Yeah, anytime I make a post on Twitter, I have to type a post and then I have to like redact my words. I have to take all my little filler words off. I have to remove all my little dots. I have to use a million contractions. And by the end of what I've written, I've no longer actually written what I've written. Everyone on Tumblr is dedicated to clowning on people who treat it like Twitter. Tumblr is just its own thing. What? Thank you, Hugs. I will continue doing my best. Yeah, I had a singing lesson yesterday. And, that was, and I took. I have been told I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of like advancing to the quote unquote next like level, so to speak. I'm also making sure the site is run to loss every year, also being super hard to market to. The thing is, like, anyone who's owned Tumblr is just really bad at, like, knowing what Tumblr is good for. I still remember the CEO of Yahoo saying that they wanted Tumblr to be the new PDF. Like, you know, Adobe PDF files. How the fuck does that work? Like, what does that mean? What do you mean you want Tumblr to be the next PDF? It's a file type! So yes, I will accept my Tumblr and its shitty ads and everything. You got me to join Tumblr, I'm waiting for me to realise all the porn is gone now, so it was devastating. The porn is not gone. There is less. It's not gone if the fact that I sometimes open up my dashboard and just see hardcore pornography just smack dab in the middle of my dashboard, and I'm just there like, come on, at least tag it. They meant PDA, which still doesn't make that much sense. No, it doesn't make that much sense. Even I don't get that. What are you following? People who make OCs and they reblog the pornography because they're like, damn, this is my blowbo and someone else's blowbo, and so they reblog the pornography like that. That's who I follow. You need to follow people who are extremely passionate about their blowbos, and then you will see. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yes, I have a Tumblr. I like my Tumblr. But please only follow me on Tumblr if you are ready for the fact that I'm I do not act like a professional on there. My Twitter, I try and be very normal, but my Tumblr is for me to be a whiny asshole, so. This is degenerates. If you make original characters, You're probably a degenerate in some way. So are you okay to hear commission where it was one person face planting to the floor, person two looking only mildly concerned and thought of you and me? Well, who's who? It's one of my favourite whiny assholes. Well, don't worry. You can count on me continuing to be a whiny asshole forever. It's part of being British. It's what we do. It's what we do. Your face planting? Okay. Fair. Anyway, I should probably read for the people who do come here to read, to listen. And then I can like continue talking, because last week I didn't read anything. I didn't read anything. It's fine. Whinging in it? Yeah. Having a bit of a whinge and a moan. What if you're just a YouTube just chatting streamer now? I mean, that's not a bad thing. I love chatting. Whinging is possibly my favourite British word. Very good one. I remember when I first started using the word whinging on the internet, and Americans were like, what is whinging? I'm like, you know, when you're having a bit of a whinge. What do you mean? It took a while. I saw Calypso punch on the side of a road. It's funny to imagine you chatting for hours while holding over a giant. It's quite heavy. It's a big giant tome. This is a workout for me. Especially like, you know, look at the metal. Like these are reading chat from the yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm fake reading. I've just got my phone resting on the inside of the book. Fury's angel hands are holding it up. Alright, love, I'm gonna go have a bit of a whinge with the lads. Yeah, I don't think anyone has really said those words in that particular order before, but the knee slap, alright then. that's very classic British. Love me a knee slap and a alright then. Like that is how you say, okay, I'm done. I'm not reading yaoi. Trying to think about how we would probably more likely say. We do that in the Midwest too. It's good. It's good. Everyone should do the knee slap alright then. It feels polite. But informal. It's polite, but it's informal. Comes from the British, comes from Carl Pilkington. What about the knowledge I've given you? Leave it. Yeah, leaving takes another hour. Yes, that is true. That is true. You know, as a kid I used to get told I could talk for England, and the older I get, the more I realise that actually that's kind of an achievement. Like, you know, sometimes you really can't shut people up. You're more internet than British, and is that I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Clearly I simply need to become far more British. I can't be doing with this American bullshit no longer. I must embrace my true Britishness. More about the internet. What do you mean? Already reserved to talk to the purity. We don't really say yank. We actually don't really say yank that often. British people, just Midwestern Islanders. Those words don't mean a lot to me. I don't know what is Midwest for Americans. But yeah, I don't even know if that doing that voice like is more British. That's just how I always feel when it's like, oh yes, I should like pretend to be more British now. Yeah, Birmingham, great place for no one. No one. I'm not a fan of Birmingham. It's just the middle of the States, lots of farmland. In which case, no. Britain is like, I would say Britain's pretty urban. Obviously I haven't been to every American state ever, but the American state that I found was most like the UK was Michigan. Mid Michigan. You've been to the ones with the best views? Maybe. Sentences you to Breezewater, Pennsylvania? I don't know my American geography enough for this. So I've been to New York, I've been to Michigan, I've been to Georgia, and I've been to California. Those are the states that I've been to. I've also stopped in Florida briefly. I've stopped in Florida. I didn't stay for a long time. How was Georgia? It's a complicated subject. I shouldn't have gone in May because it was too warm. I should not have gone to Georgia with summer approaching. North California. I did go to Atlanta, yes. I went to go see Hollywood Undead. In Atlanta. And I went to Savannah as well while I was in Georgia. Savannah's very nice. Supposedly very haunted. But overall my feelings about Georgia are a little bit convoluted. In New York I went to both New York City and Long Island. Again, I went in the middle of summer, which I regret. I do remember opening the door in New York and feeling like I'd opened an oven door. Like you really you really don't realize how good air conditioning is in American houses until you do that, I think. Did you eat a pibba? You mean a pizza? I did actually. I did have a pizza in New York. One of those giant ass but really flat pizzas. And when I folded it up, it was literally so greasy it like dripped, and I was just there like, I'm probably taking a year off my lifespan by eating this, but you know, whatever. In Michigan, I've been to Lansing and Hell. Hell Lansing is literally just Hell Michigan is just one road. It's really small. It's not even a village. It's like 4 buildings. But I wanted to go. Yeah, Hell. Like literally, it's called Hell. I've been through Detroit, so I've landed in Detroit and gone through Detroit, but I've never stopped in Detroit. I mainly spent most of my time in Lansing. The couple of times I've been to Michigan. Those were the better. So I hear. Can't have shit in Detroit. Because I'm alive. California, I landed in Sacramento, and I took a bus to San Francisco, I think, and then I took a Greyhound coach all the way up to Eureka, which is near where I stayed while I was in California. It was wildfire season, but I didn't actually get to see any wildfires. I was a little bit upset. I was really hoping to see some fire. Sorry to all the people who have suffered from wildfires in California. Just please note it's just a novelty to me. Your Americans' weather is kind of insane. Yeah, that's it. That's everywhere I've been in America. I'm probably gonna go again to a new state. You deserve to see cool yeah! Did you? I don't think so. I don't think I experienced any earthquakes in California. Well, when I visited California, it was actually like, I think it was September. So I don't know why. I don't know why there were still hellfires. Jesus, wildfires in. Have you been to Japan? No, but I really, 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 really want to go to Japan. Obviously, because I'm a freaking weeb. But it is very expensive to travel from the UK to Japan, because it is, while you guys are only one ocean away from Japan, it is the complete opposite side of the planet from us. So it's expensive. One day I'd love to go. One day I will go. I just don't know when. I want to go for New Year's. I want to see like all the New Year's celebrations in Japan, and that'd be winter as well. You should go to Nevada. Why are you sending me to the desert? Why are you sending me to the desert? Huh? Why? Why Nevada? I feel like I'm being herded into Area 51. 30. It's a 13-hour flight to Japan. Let me see how long a flight it is. Sky scanner. You could drive a tank. I mean, that does sound cool. That does sound tempting. Don't get me wrong. That'd be pretty sick to drive a tank. Let's just say Tokyo. Let's say I want to go on the 7th of December, question mark. Oh no, flexible dates, just say flexible dates. Depart December, come back January, apply, whatever. This is just hypothetical website. I'm just trying to find out how long it takes to fly. It is... Oh, wow, there are actually direct flights. 15 hours. It is yeah, it looks like it's a 14 to 15 hour flight to Japan. It's only a little bit more. Is that, do they fly over Asia, or do they fly over, no, surely they've got to fly over Asia. Desert is at night is pretty cool, like coyotes, dogs. Will just follow you, like, safely? Like, safely follow you? Just go in the winter if you do go, it's dry and sandy, it's still in the northern hemisphere, so winter still exists. Ah, noted. O-Block is a fantastic, along with Kansas. I feel like you guys are trolling me. I feel like you guys are trolling me. Puri Guntuber when? Probably never. Guns make me a little nervous. There are other gun tubers. Go to other people for guns. Coyote? Does this plane to Asia fly over Asia? I mean, like the rest of it, like, because Japan's on the opposite side of the planet, I wasn't sure whether they fly over land or sea. Foxes are safe. Coyotes, I think, have only attacked a human fatally like once. Oh, okay. I did wonder when I went to Michigan. I was pretty sure there were coyotes, but I never saw any. Give Purity halberd. I mean, I have a halberd. I have a halberd. You don't need to give me another halberd. What would I do with 2 halberds? 2 halberds. Dual wielding. No, I'm not gonna do all halberds. That's too much. Would you go on a shooting range on a trip to the US? I don't know. Maybe if I wasn't on my own and like other people were like wanting to go to a shooting range, I guess. I would probably just tag along. Like, it probably wouldn't be a suggestion from me though. I'm the type of person I'm more likely to suggest going to like museums and galleries and historical stuff. How about an archery range? I mean, oh god, I feel like it's been way too long since I've done archery. I would worry I'd embarrass myself. Why does your mom let you have 2 halberds? I want to give you a weapon. I have my halberd! I have a weapon! No, I will accept bow and arrow. I have taken lessons how to use that. There are gun museums. You can have the best of both worlds. Let's go! Okay, that's a good halfway point. More weapon. I remember, fun fact, butterfly knives are banned in the UK. They are illegal here. 100% like illegal. But I remember I used to really want one because you can do all the fancy tricks with them. And I remember when I was 15, my dad said that if I passed all my GCSEs, he would get me a butterfly knife. That he had a contact that could get a butterfly knife. Well, I'm 29 now. Where's my fucking butterfly knife? Where's my fucking butterfly knife, Dad? I remember! I still want it! It's because of Spy TF2, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It's just because they have all the cool, like, tricks. I can't remember when I started playing TF2, but it might have actually been after I wanted a butterfly knife. I just thought they were cool. But then I remember when I was in Georgia, obviously in America you can just buy butterfly knives, and I remember someone showing off about all these freaking knives, and I actually started to get kind of anxious about it because they were just like knife, knife, knife. I'm just there like, oh, this is a lot of dangerous weapons. Happy birthday, thank you. I'm now 29. Butterfly knives made. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. But yeah, I remember when I was headed back from Georgia, they were like, oh, do you want to take one with you? And I'm like, I'm not risking taking this shit through customs. Like, I'm not risking that. No thank you. That's too dangerous. Display counter full of knives. America's so bizarre. I still remember walking into it was either a Walmart or a Mayor, and them having the fucking counter that's just guns, like not even manned. There's just guns. And I'm just like, what the hell? Chunia Mole Ninja knife, yes. Trying to take a butterfly knife to Britain, they just say bro. Yeah, I'm already risking trouble if I bring back 3 bottles of melatonin and 50 packets of Idahoan instant mashed potatoes, and then there's just like a butterfly knife between them. They're gonna look at me like, what the fuck? We bought our rifles when coming back from deployment on the yeah, America's an interesting place. I both look forward to going there again and also fear going there again in pretty equal parts. Also, yeah, there should be a healthy in-between between Walmart gun section and British. You got a license for that. Idaho mashed potatoes are a classic. Well, it's not that. It's just that it's not that they're not allowed. It's just that when you buy them in Europe, they don't have all the artificial flavors that actually make them taste good. They taste very bland. And the thing is, when you buy something in bulk and bring it back from another country, sometimes that looks like you might be bringing it back to sell rather than for personal use, which then you would have to pay customs on. But no, I just want to bring back like an entire freaking box of Idaho mashed potatoes because they're tasty and they only take 6 minutes to make. Don't go to America, I'm here. Well, don't worry, I'll go to the East Coast instead. Your country is big enough to not worry about that. Several boxes of suspicious white flakes. Oh, true. 6 minutes, that's too long. No, it's not. 6 minutes is fine. Just loads of butter and salt. On the European ones, I have tried so hard to actually like make them tasty. They are just missing that certain je ne sais quoi. And making actual mashed potatoes just takes too long. It's a pain in the ass. It takes too long. They're really nice. I love mashed potatoes, but they just take too long. I don't wanna. 6 packs of vanilla Oreos from SA and TSA didn't say anything. What do I cook for you? Not happening. What the fuck was that? I know it was French. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Anyway, I'm gonna read, okay? And then I'll get back to chatting. I've literally been chatting for an hour. We didn't finish Mr. English last time or the time before that. So I'm going to read. I'm gonna finish Mr. English. And then I'm probably gonna start talking again, because I can't help myself. Go to the Asian market and buy a bag of MSG. We are so... The thing is, like, if I start a stream with the intent of reading, then I feel like if I haven't, I've got to tick that box. And I didn't tick it last time. I just accepted my fate. I was like, I'm just gonna talk. I love talking. Boxed mashed potatoes and instant coffee. Well, I don't like coffee, but I'll certainly take the mashed potatoes. I hate talking. Well, shut up then. Technically, you've been reading comments. That's true. Read the glossary of the book. Is there a glossary? You want to make hard characters and play through a normal leveling zone for like 15 minutes in a week or two? It's very specific. It's very specific. Paper ASMR. Oh, there is a glossary! Entryway. Japanese houses have a distinctly delineated area at ground level near the front door. You wear shoes into the tiled or stone-floored entryway, but must change out of them before stepping up onto the wooden floor. Yeah, that is actually a glossary. It's just for most of the Japanese towns. Anyway, I'm gonna read the actual Mr. English. We started it 2 weeks ago. We read a bit of it. I'm gonna read the rest of it. Feel free to get some sleep, get some rest, get something to eat, get something to drink. Your model has eyeshadow? Yeah, I think it's kind of a newer addition. I think it was added when Mary changed the eyes recently. Entryway USA, entryway Japan. But yeah. It's either eyeshadow or dark circles from lack of sleep. It's your choice. Anyway, goes kind of hard on the character art. She does. I love Mary. I don't know if they're still open, but Mary opened commissions yesterday. Commission Mary, I love Mary. Mary, my art mama. Mirabelle drew it, yes. Miri Arachnia, formerly known as Josabelle. Blessed be her art. I love her art so much. Alright, reading. I will catch up with everything after I finished reading, but feel free to continue talking. If you need to get some sleep, do not worry, you shouldn't be woken up for any reason. Let me make sure my music isn't going to stop partway. Nope, it's going to be fine. Let me know if there are any audio issues. I think that's it. I think that's all my stuff. Okay, we read now. Mogi lived in Juso, a 10-minute ride from Umeda, in a little 4-room, 2-story house below the Yodo River dike. He snored the whole way there, leaning all his weight against the landlady's shoulder, but he miraculously awoke when she ordered the taxi driver to stop. What? I'm home? I was just dreaming I was at the Arima Hot Springs with you, he said to her. Don't be ridiculous. Come on, get out of the cab. Sure. You too, apprentice, as long as you've come this far. Have a cup of tea. You wouldn't disobey your master, would you? He wouldn't take no for an answer. Mogi's wife had died during the war. They had a son, a total wastrel according to Mogi, who almost never came home. So, despite his advanced age, Mogi lived alone and cooked for himself. He had hired several maids over the years, but they had apparently all quit, unwilling to put up with his nagging. Having demanded that his 2 guests stay, Mogi seemed to find their presence so calming that he promptly collapsed, snoring on the tatami. Kyoto and the landlady looked at each other with resigned smiles. He doesn't need us here, Kyoto said. Let's just accept our fate and put him to bed, the landlady said, pulling Mogi's bedding out of the closet and laying out the mattress. Kyoto lifted Mogi's shoulders and the landlady took his feet. Together, they just about managed to dump him onto the thin mattress before covering him with a quilt. Mogi mumbled something incoherent and started snoring again. He thinks he's got servants here, she said with a touch of annoyance, yet she tenderly patted down the 4 corners of the quilt. Having escaped the bombing, the house was well kitted out with aging furniture, and Mogi seemed to keep the place neat and clean. Time to go, I guess, the landlady said, casting a melancholy glance around the room. Yes, Kyoto said. Well then, master, we'll be going. There was no reply, of course. They stepped outside to find the moon glowing in the early autumn sky. There was time, still, until the last train. The 2 strolled atop the Yoda River dike towards Hankyu Station. Kyoto thought he could hear the flow of the river below. Walking beside the landlady like this deep at night gave Kyoto a special feeling, one not at all unpleasant. The landlady giggled, as though suddenly recalling something. Mr. Mogi once asked me to come and live with him in that house, you know, just after the war. Oh, really? I lost my house in the bombing. I lost my husband. I had no way to start up the business again. My daughter and I were squeezed in with a relative at Takarazuka. Things looked hopeless. The landlady had bumped into Moggy when she was walking along Shinsaibashi Street, lost in dark thoughts about the future. He had piped up as usual. "How are you doing, Mom? I hope you'll be opening up the bar soon. Better not delay, or it'll be too late. And besides, I don't know where else to go." He took her to a nearby cafe, where he had said all the same things to her all over again. She gave him a moving account of her current difficulties. "I see," he said. "It must be tough, living with relatives like that. Why don't you come to my place instead?" With some hesitation, she told him that she had a 7-year-old daughter to care for. "That's no problem. Bring her along," he said. "Thank you so much," she replied, then gave the invitation some careful thought. Moggy must be a widower, so when he suggested she come and live with him, was it just a matter of offering her a place to live, or was there a deeper meaning to it? This was not merely an abstract question to ponder, but a possible turning point in her life. She blushed like a schoolgirl and toyed with her coffee spoon all the while she was mulling things over. Before she could say anything, Moggy suddenly asked, "What is Okio doing these days?" Okio was a barmaid who had worked in the Heiroku. The landlady replied that Okio was also in great distress, with nowhere to go. "All right then. It doesn't have to be you," he said breezily, taking a whole new tack. "Why don't you send her to see me?" "Well, I can put up with either of you. It doesn't matter to me." The landlady felt let down at first, then angry. If Moggy had merely been offering her a place to live, she could hardly object to his easy switch from one woman to another, but put up with. And he finally tried to appeal to her sympathies with, "I'm lonely living by myself," which was enough to make her want to call him a horny old goat. Instead, she said, "Thank you very much. Let me give it some thought," and walked out of the cafe wearing an understandably morose expression, leaving Moggy behind. After that, the landlady succeeded in opening her present bar, but to this day, she said, she had been unable to repress the mixed feelings of gratitude and anger towards Moggy she experienced whenever she thought of her misery in those early days after the war. "This is the first I've heard of that," Kyoto said with a smile, "but at least Moggy liked you best and Okio second best." The landlady chuckled softly and said with a little pout, "He probably would have been fine with whichever of us he could get first." Soon the dim glow of the station lights could be seen in the distance. "I'll bet Mr. Moggy is still snoring," she said, looking back, but Moggy's little house was no longer visible. Moggy missed work the day after the rumoured fight. He was probably in bed in his Jusou house, his head bandaged as it had been the night before. Kyoto thought of dropping by to look in on him after work. Otherwise, Moggy was likely to accuse him of coldness. Kyoto was thinking about visiting Moggy when came along Oda, the colleague with whom Moggy had scuffled. "Look here, Mr. Oda," Kyoto said. "I can't have you fighting with my master anymore. It reflects badly on me as his apprentice." "Well, he's the one who started it," Oda said with an easy smile. "That paper dog is just too much for me." "But why did someone of your standing have to go and punch him? Both of you are way too old to be getting involved in fisticuffs." "Fisticuffs? I never laid a hand on him. He got all worked up and fell off his bar stool." "You mean he just fell off by himself?" "Sure, and he caught his head on the corner of a table. He's such a loser. I'm kind of worried about him though. Could you drop in and see how he's doing?" Yeah, of course." "Thanks, I'm counting on you." Oda wandered off towards his desk. Even supposing that Moggy was jealous of Oda for having been promoted over the years, there was no one in the company who found this unfair. They all viewed Oda as someone special, forgetting that he had ever been a temp. This was due entirely to the fine figure he had cut when he was evacuated from Dalian after Japan lost the war. The company had sent him to China and made him the chief of the Dalian branch. Most people who were evacuated from China following Japan's surrender came back looking like beggars, but Oda walked into the office wearing a 100% wool suit and London-made hat and carrying a snakewood walking stick like some kind of fine British gentleman. You hardly ever saw such a well-dressed chap in the Japanese homeland in these days, let alone the far-flung corners of a now-defunct empire. "What's with the suit?" the director asked. "I wore this all the way back from Dalian." "Oh, come on, Oda, you." "Please, sir." Oda stopped him in order to announce, as though he had been looking forward to this moment. "If I may say so, Oda Yoshiro made quite a name for himself representing our company in Dalian. Japan may have lost the war, but that is no excuse for people to come back dressed like beggars. I decided that there should be at least one evacuee displaying the dignity of a proper Japanese. Of course, I disdained anything so abject as wearing a backpack. This is what it means to be a man." "Magnificent, Oda," the director cried. "I couldn't have said it better myself." He added, "You are the honor and glory of our company." Oda was immediately elevated to assistant to the assistant director. Everyone thought it a near miracle that Oda had escaped in such style from the desperation and chaos on the Chinese mainland. The whole company sensed in him the heroism of Japan's old restoration patriots, and indeed he carried himself with the dignity and composure one would expect from such men. Mogi never should have tangled with an opponent of Oda's caliber. When people heard that Mr. English had received a bloody head wound, rather than asking what had caused it, they said, "Maybe he's learned his lesson," or "He should know better at his age." Kyoto dropped by Mogi's house on his way home from work that day. Mogi was alone, lying on his mattress in the room facing the garden. "Oh, thanks for coming," Mogi said with obvious pleasure, as if he had been waiting all day for Kyoto to visit. "I'm afraid you cut a sorry figure last night, master." "I should have never let my guard down." "I hear you got all worked up and fell off your bar stool. You really made a fool of yourself. Oda told me about it." "Oh, really?" Now he's sunk to a new low. He saw me getting up and kicked my bar stool out from under me. "Here, let me tell you what really happened." Mogi had been drinking at the Heiroku the night before. The landlady was keeping him company, and he was fairly drunk when Oda showed up. "That son of a bitch has his eye on the landlady," Mogi said to Kyoto, "and he's been coming to the bar a lot lately. Anyhow, I never liked him." Kyoto heard this as a virtual confession that the two men were rivals in love. Oda had given Mogi a grunt and sat down on the bar stool next to his. Mogi had glared back at him without replying, which obviously annoyed Oda. The two started drinking almost back to back, deliberately ignoring each other, while each man watched the other's alcohol consumption. "Mom, more sake." Mogi waved his now empty sake bottle in the air for her to see. "Mom, more sake, please," Oda said a moment later, and shook his own sake bottle. It made a hollow splash, revealing that it was far from empty. Not even the heroic Oda could help but be embarrassed by the revelation, and he blushed slightly as he set his bottle down. Then quickly, as if to hide his embarrassment, he called out, "Mom, beef strips fried in butter, please." Not to be outdone, Mogi called, "Beef strips in butter, Mom, superior cut." "Make mine the best quality, an extra large," Oda countered. The landlady looked back and forth between the two men in disbelief. "The only butter-fried beef we have is normal grade. We're all out of superior cut and best quality and extra large today." To Mogi she served wasabi fish cakes, and to Oda miso cucumbers. You'll have to make do with these, she said, her show of equal treatment eliciting stifled laughter from the other customers. Oda had the good sense to join in the lightened mood, but Moggy was still fuming. Stealing a glance at the stubborn Moggy, Oda said to the landlady, I gather you had a very difficult time after your first place was bombed. A tough time with men, too. I heard that one man tried to seduce you, using his house as bait. A shiver seemed to run through the fingers with which Moggy held his sake cup, but Oda went on to the shocked-looking landlady, as if chatting about everyday things. And the way I heard it, when you didn't answer him, the fellow said he could put up with Okio instead of you. I saw Okio the other day, and let me tell you, she was mad. For him to say something like that, he can put up with Okio, just goes to show what a horny old goat he is. What nerve, she said. I don't blame her for being mad. I don't suppose the fellow comes here any more, does he? If he does, I'd like to see what he looks like. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's somewhere close by. But what an idiot. Following this little speech, Oda ostentatiously sipped his sake amid a second wave of stifled laughter. Then it was Moggy's turn to address the landlady. Here's a little scoop for you I've never told anyone before. Now the others pricked up their ears in anticipation of the third wave. A few years ago, I just happened to be passing Osaka Station when I saw a group of evacuees from Dalian. One of them was a man I knew well. It made me so happy to see he had found his way back from the Chinese mainland safe and sound. But he was very impressive. While all the others were dressed in rags, he was a veritable crane among chickens, wearing a suit and carrying a stick like a fine English gentleman. Japan may have lost a war, he said, but as a true Japanese I didn't want to evacuate to the homeland looking shabby. This was the genuine samurai spirit. The samurai flaunts his toothpick even when starving. Of course, this particular samurai came from a long line of Kyushu farmers. Moggy took a slug of sake. The landlady glanced at Oda, who was looking rather proud of himself. So anyway, standing behind this preening peacock was his wife. And was she dressed in a gorgeous kimono to match his suit? No. She had on a hideous pair of farm trousers, a towel wrapped around her head, and the pack on her back looked big enough to snap her in two. I've never heard of anything so ridiculous, the landlady said, fuming. In other words, this fellow had travelled all the way from China, letting his wife carry a gigantic pack while he himself wore a fancy suit, sported a walking stick, and carried on as if he was the one true Japanese. The poor woman! This turned me against him there and then. You call yourself a man, treating her like that? I said to him. No, no, he says, as if it was nothing at all. She wanted to do this. She's a model wife. And maybe he was right about his own wife, but to me, in that precious suit of his, he looked like some black marketeer making a show of his fancy clothes. It was like catching some big famous guy with a snotball hanging from his nose. Hey, Oda said. What? Moggy answered. Black marketeer? Snotball? Horny old goat? Both men ran out of things to say after that, glaring as if ready to bite each other's head off. To be sure, they did not start throwing punches, but the longer Moggy focused on Oda's face, the more his accumulated resentment boiled up until, almost without thinking, he emptied his sake cup onto Oda's suit. Certain that Oda would strike back, Moggy started to get up from his bar stool to brace himself, but in the next instant, he and the bar stool clattered to the floor. There's no way someone like me would just fall off his chair like that. Oda kicked it out from under me. No question, Moggy insisted again. Kyoto struggled to keep from laughing. So it was two old fellows in a love feud, he said. Well, I suppose it boils down to that, Moggy admitted with surprising ease. But hey, I'm not such an old fellow. The two men fell silent at that point. Kyoto looked outside towards the corner of the garden, where a white flower glowed softly in the darkness. You know, Kazuma, it's lonely sleeping alone like this. I know. Hey, do you think the Heiroku landlady could ever fall for me? Moggy said that the Heiroku landlady looked a lot like the young daughter of the family who ran the dry goods shop where he worked as a boy. This meant she looked like his first love of 40 years earlier, whose memory he had carried with him in his travels around the Chinese mainland. Whether or not it was actually possible to remember a woman's face for 40 years, Moggy believed he did. Even if she does like you, nothing's ever going to come of it, Kyoto said. That's a mean thing to say. What proof do you have? It's just a guess, but I suspect the landlady found herself a patron who helped her open her new bar. I also imagine that if he ever decided for him to control himself... No. I also imagine that even if he decided not to make any demands on her at first, it's becoming harder and harder for him to control himself. The landlady is very attractive, even to us, and all we can do is look at her, so imagine how worked up this patron of hers is getting. And with that special kindness of hers, she's bound to respond to his passion. In fact, I imagine she has already responded. You've got a pretty ugly imagination. No, just an imagination. So how about Oda? It's probably the same for him, I imagine, but... Well, if you imagine that's the same for him, then there was no point in us fighting, was there? So I got hurt for nothing? I guess I'd have to say that. I know Kiyu is out of the question too. It's a hopeless situation. Moggy seemed to have resigned himself to losing both women. Just then, the front door slid open. "Good evening, father," said a young voice, instantaneously transforming Moggy's newly softened expression into a stern mask. In walked a young man in his mid-20s. Kyoto knew at a glance that this had to be Moggy's son, the great playboy who never came to visit him. But this shameless profligate had a remarkably clear gaze, and he had a lovely young thing with him who was perhaps 20 years old. Kyoto seized the moment. "Oh, well then, I guess I'll be going," he announced, getting to his feet. He stepped outside and lit a cigarette. He was starting to walk away when he heard Moggy shout at the top of his lungs. "Get the hell out of here! You've got some nerve coming here to tell me that." Kyoto stopped dead in his tracks. "But father!" "Don't but father me! You'd never come to see me, and now all of a sudden you show up with a girl and ask me to let you marry her? You selfish little twerp! We want to get married and take care of you." "Ridiculous! I can take care of myself perfectly well, thank you. I don't want to become beholden to some unfilial idiot who thinks he's going to take care of me all of a sudden." But father, I only left the house because you wouldn't stop nagging me. You never tried to understand me." "What are you talking about? I nagged you because I understood you. Now listen to me. The only reason I have had to endure the shame of being a mere temp all these years is because I didn't have a college education, because I never went beyond primary school. I wanted to make sure I put you through college so you wouldn't have to experience the pain I've lived with. I was willing to do anything to make you into a college-educated company man. That was my dream." Moggy's voice seethed with righteous indignation. Kyoto couldn't help believing that, deep in his heart, Moggy was almost certainly crying. "As soon as you finished middle school, though, you started saying you didn't want to go to school anymore. I finally managed to get you into high school, but they called me and told me you hadn't been attending, at all. That's when I found out you'd been studying drawing, that you wanted to become an artist. Let me tell you, mister, it's not that easy to make your living as an artist. I had to put my foot down. I threatened to stop paying your rent to try and convince you to abandon that dream, but you gave me all this big talk about making your own way in life, and then walked right out of here. Do you have any idea how that made me feel? And after bragging you're going to become this big artist, what do you end up doing? Painting posters." "But father, That's what I wanted to tell you. I've had a work accepted in an exhibition. You what? This is the time for me to come home and take care of you and... You idiot! Moggy's ferocious shouts seemed to shake the air around Kyoto. So you think getting one picture accepted in an exhibition makes you an artist? Let me tell you how I got to where I am today. I have unshakable confidence that my English is second to none, and I have never been anywhere outside this country but China. I got that confidence with sheer hard work, pouring every ounce of my strength into studying. That's how I made it my calling, my life's work. And I'm just talking about English. To become a real artist, you've got to work even harder than I did on English. You have to give it everything you've got. But here you are, walking on air because you had one lousy painting accepted, all pleased with yourself as if you've got it made. And no, father, I don't feel that way at all. You've got to do better than that. I don't want to be taken care of by some dreamy-eyed son who wants to play filial piety games with me all of a sudden. If you really want to practice filial piety, come back to me after you've established yourself as a full-fledged artist. I'll stick it out here by myself as long as it takes. 10 years, 20 years, a lifetime. With that, the house fell silent. Kyoto peeked through a knothole in the fence to see the son and his girlfriend kneeling on the matted floor, their heads hanging down. Beside the milked Moggy, his head still wrapped in bandages, staring with gritted teeth at a spot in the garden. In the lamplight, Kyoto thought he saw a glistening tear glide down from Moggy's eye. Moggy stayed away from work for 3 days. On the 4th day, he removed his bandages and went into the office. Kyoto had been sent to Kobe that day, but as soon as he returned to the office at 2 o'clock, he went to go see Moggy, who was just then engaged in a verbal tug-of-war with the errand boy. "I don't want this," Moggy was saying. "Give it back to the director." "But..." The young man stood there in confusion, holding a sheet of paper. "Oh, what's that?" Kyoto asked. "Here, sir, take a look." Kyoto saw that it was a notice of dismissal for Moggy. "Oh, what's this all about?" "The director says I'm fired, damn him. He thinks I'm worthless." As soon as he arrived at the office, Moggy said, the director had called him in and growled at him. "I hear you got into a bar fight, a man of your age. Don't you see what tremendous harm something like that can do to the company's reputation?" Moggy, unbowed, shot back. "The company's reputation? Come on, it was just a little bar fight. Don't make such a big deal about it." "So you've decided to be insubordinate, huh? It's that rash attitude that makes everyone here hate you." "I do my job the way I'm supposed to do it." "The problem is with your humanity. Humanity is everything. And my English ability is nothing? Your level of English is nothing special anymore. Everybody can speak as well as you these days, especially the younger employees. I've been thinking for a while it's about time to have you hand in your resignation." "I will never resign." "Then why not?" "It's the rule. Temps stay on until they turn 60. Unless the company no longer needs them. Then it only makes sense for us to have you resign." The director had probably not intended to go that far, but both men were worked up, and one remark led to another. "Not me. I will not resign. I'll see to it that you do. No, never." With that, Moggy had stalked out of the director's office. At that point, Oda came strolling along. "What happened? Did the boss give you a dressing down? I got mine the other day." "Oh really? You too?" If that was the case, Moggy concluded, there had been no favoritism involved. "Don't suppose he fired you, though?" No, of course not." "He says he's going to fire me." "That's crazy." "I know, so I refused to quit." "That's the spirit." "You think so? Even you?" "I do." "That's great. I'm surprised we see eye to eye." "Oh, what are you talking about? Back when I was the hit of Dalian..." "Oh, shut up. You make me sick to my stomach with that stuff. The hell? You paper dog, you. You had to go and say it, huh? Snotball. All right, enough of this. It's just going to lower my dignity. Let's stop the fighting for now, Oda said, calling for compromise. That afternoon, however, the director had reached boiling point, it seemed. He sent the errand boy to deliver the notice of dismissal. Mogi refused to accept it and sent the boy back. A short time later, the boy brought the notice again, on orders from the director. Kyoto came in at that point, and so did Oda. Mark my words, Mogi said. If I resign now, the company is going to have big problems. Negotiations with IES will be starting soon. It's totally presumptuous to think some rookie can take my place at a time like this. That's how much confidence I have in my own English. It kills me to think that so little value is placed on my English skills that I can be fired for a mere bar fight. I refuse to resign. I will come to work every day. I couldn't ask for a better opponent than the director. And why is that? Because I'm the one and only paper dog. After delivering this speech to Kyoto, Mogi said to the boy, "Hey, snap out of it. Take that notice back to the director immediately and tell him I don't want it. That's what your job is all about." Yes, but... The boy was at a total loss, and finally blurted out, "I feel like Taira no Shigemori." What are you talking about? Shigemori lived 800 years ago. You're nothing like him, Mogi barked. Well, kind of. Evil general's son. Tried to be a good guy. Hey, errand boy Shigemori, Oda interjected. Nobody's going to take that scrap of paper from you, so just leave it in your desk drawer for a while. Oh, all right, the young man said with a sigh, as if he had finally found a way out of his predicament. I'll do that, he added as he left. Do you really think that's all right? Kyoto asked. Wouldn't the safest thing be to take the humble approach and apologize? But Mogi said he absolutely refused to apologize. Even Oda egged him on. No, you really shouldn't apologize. True to his word, from the following day on, Mogi came to work as usual. All of the office gossip suddenly focused on him, much of it in his favour. This is the strangest thing that's ever happened in the company's history. You have to hand it to Mr. English. He's not all bad. Employees always had to worry about being let go. If Mogi's high-handed tactics work, they should be taken as a model of the best way to respond to a firing. No, Mogi was probably the only one who could get away with such a thing. If anyone else tried it, he might be in for a rude awakening. The director who fired Mogi was acting grumpy these days, as if his authority had been slighted. But what was most likely preventing him from adopting a more decisive attitude was his unease about the approaching negotiations with IES. Mogi was undoubtedly aware of the director's nervousness, but a young employee in administration had already been chosen to do the interpreting. The fellow could be depended on to handle ordinary interpreting, but when it came to negotiations like these, which presented major problems involving the introduction of both technology and foreign capital, the interpreter had to have a commensurate amount of sheer guts. The negotiations started. If they proceeded smoothly without Mogi, his reputation would be ruined. Not surprisingly, even Mogi appeared nervous that day. He came and sat by Kyoto's desk first thing in the morning. Kyoto deliberately avoided mentioning the negotiations. So, what did you do about your son? He asked. That rascal! Of course I sent him packing that night. Sounds cold-hearted to me. Cold-hearted? It was the only thing to do. No, it was cold-hearted. Even cruel. I'm not going to call you master anymore. Hey, wait a minute now, apprentice. Don't be so hasty. To tell you the truth... The truth? About what? A look of embarrassment came over Moggy, such as he had rarely, if ever, displayed. Taro told me he had worked hard and made himself into a real artist, so I figured I had to light one last fire under his tail. And that young bride of his wouldn't have been able to stand me nagging her from morning to night. Let's call it a father's love at work. Very impressive, master. Hey, enough with the flattery. I can see right through you, Moggy said shyly. Doesn't this mean you're going to go on being lonely? Kyoto asked. I'm used to being by myself. If I get lonely, I could just take aim at the Heiroku's landlady. I'm still full of energy, and I will be for a while yet. Hey, what do you say we invite Oda along and go to the Heiroku tonight? Moggy gave him a big smile, but Kyoto was thinking about Moggy's face as he had seen it through the knothole in the fence. The errand boy came running up to them at that point. Mr. Moggy, he said, the director wants you in the reception room right away. What for? Moggy asked, playing dumb, but his face was suddenly brimming with life. I don't know, but he says you better hurry. No, first I want you to go ask what this is about. A moment or two later, the director himself came running in. Moggy, come now. Oh my, what could this be about? It's your old friend Mr. O'Brien from the IES. He says he misses you. Come and say hello to him. If it's just a matter of saying hello, I can do that later. Look, don't needle me at a time like this. Mr. O'Brien wants you to interpret. But I thought you fired me. Yes, but you wouldn't accept the notice, would you? That makes us even. It's still your duty to follow company orders. Come now. Go ahead, Moggy, Kyoto said from the side. Well, then, I suppose I ought to go. Moggy rose up with a lordly air, the eyes of the entire office focused on him. Never before had the countenance, indeed, the whole physique of Mr. English, Soichiro Moggy, shone with such splendid vigour, like a fish that has finally found its way back into the water. Actually kind of glad that that one did not end in a oh no, the bad guy is terrible, we're actually killing him. Oh, I'm dizzy. Let me sit up straight. I've kind of like twisted myself while I was reading. What? There we go. Mr. English, read, finished, done. Question mark, redemption arc, question mark. Also, thank you for coming by, Gravity. I know you're already gone, but there we go. I would have air out the office. Wait, what do you mean you would have air? Wait, what does that mean? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? I don't know what that means. No murder suicide? No. None of that. Not this time. No burning people's daughters in carriages. No. Just one obstinate old guy. No second. Last second more. Yeah. Man, House Crane was fucked up. What story did I miss where that happens? It called Hell Screen. Yeah, it was kind of wild. Also featured a mean old man with a child, but by God, that did not go the same way. Might have slept to that story. I think it's possible. That's not a bad thing. That means you got to sleep. So, I think I'm gonna take a break from reading the Japanese short stories. We've been doing the Japanese short stories for a while. I need to make a new thumbnail if I'm not going to be reading the Japanese short stories for a little bit, which I need to try and actually remember to do, but whatever. Yeah, even if I never want to hang. Yeah, he seems like someone that would work, like, if he worked in the same workplace as you, you'd like not want to be anywhere near him, but you would be like, what's going on over there? What's going on over on that side of the office? Drama in the office? Tell? We should read. I've heard that name before, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is about. What I actually plan on reading next is I'm going to indulge my World of Warcraft obsession. I'm going to indulge my World of Warcraft obsession, and I'm going to read from the World of Warcraft Chronicle. Greetings, and oh, it's a children's story. Oh, it's Dr. Seuss. Oh, I see. I've never actually read anything by Dr. Seuss. I'm sorry. The only thing I've ever done is watched the Lorax. It's about trying things you think you wouldn't like. Like watching VTubers? What does that mean? What does that mean, huh? Not even Socks on Fox, it's a VTuber classic? Nope. I've watched the Tumblr classic Lorax, and that's it. I don't think I've ever actually seen any of the physical books, to be honest, either. I think the equivalent that I used to read when I was a kid was Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl had a lot of... It wasn't poetry in the same way, it was still actual books instead. Yes, the one slur, well-known Tumblr sexy man. Yeah, no, I used to read a lot of Roald Dahl as a kid. That was my, well, actually I just used to read a lot of Full Stop as a kid, but kind of if I'm thinking about like equivalent authors. To be fair, but no. Actually, it's interesting. My singing teacher has lent me a book to read. And actually I really should sit down and read it. I need to like... He was like, oh, this is really good. And I was like, okay. And he was like, here, I'll lend you the first book, because apparently it's part of a series. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I'll look after it. I'll see if I can give it a read. And then I actually mentioned it to Autumn. And Autumn was like, oh, I like that author. I know that author. That's one I literally just suggested earlier. Giant Peach movie was awesome. I think I watched it, but too many years ago that I can't remember. Can't remember anything about it at all. So technically, if I really wanted to be sensible, I would lock in and read all of Aurora Rising before my next singing lesson. But we'll see. James. Oh wait, that name rings a bell. That name really rings a bell. Hold on. That name is very, very familiar, and that's very rare for me. I'm really bad at names. Terrible with names. Oh, he wrote All Creatures Great and Small. Have I read anything? Maybe I have. To be honest, I used to read quite a lot of like animal related books when I was a kid, because I would get when I would stay at my nan's, So both my parents worked. Both my parents worked when I was a kid. So yeah, you missed all the reading in the stream. Yeah, when I was a kid, I would go to my nan's after school, and so she still had all of the books that my mum and my uncle grew up on. And my mum was like a big horse girl growing up, and so there were a lot of like animal books in that kind of vein. Did Mr. English achieve his dream of meeting Mr. Beam? No, but he did end up having a redemption arc. He did end up having his redemption arc. Repressed. Are you calling my mum a repressed furry? Telling my mom, I'm telling on you. My chat. No, I can't sign with one person. I can't one guy my mom. That's sad. One person says you're a repressed furry. Le Petit. Oh, I used to have a lot of like British classic books, and The Little Prince was one of them. I do remember reading it, but I don't actually remember what it was about. I think about the fact they joked about the Red Dwarf Emperor episode, and you said you'd ask your mum about it, and I thought you were joking. Yeah, I did actually. I did actually ask my mum about it. Yeah, this is the danger. This is the danger. I get along well with my mum, and she does come to my streams, so she knows what you guys are like. So I can talk about the things that you guys say. Meet it again from time to time, man. I haven't had any books that I've kind of like read again for a long time. I used to read a series of unfortunate events quite often when I was a kid, but I actually gave those to when I moved out. I gave those to a charity shop. I gave away most of my books to a charity shop, to be honest, actually. Can you make a viewer spreadsheet, but it's just if your mom hates us or not. I don't think my mum hates any of my viewers. Also, yeah, I hope she's asleep right now. It's like 4 AM and she's got work in a couple of hours, so... Yeah, she tends to miss the reading streams, but the daytime streams, she's often either lurking or got it open, or she can actually just straight up hear me because she's in the room below me. If it gets posted on Twitter, she'll see it because she has a Twitter. But I don't know whether she knows about all of the art. Had a huge collection of Animorphs and Goosebumps that I don't... Man, yeah. I used to have some Goosebumps. Animorphs isn't in print anymore though, so that's a shame. I've never read Animorphs, but I've heard brilliant things about it, and apparently you can download all the PDFs for Animorphs, like online. The author has just like uploaded them all for free, so people can just read them. I don't know if I would... I don't know, was that a... Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I kept most of the ones that I was like really sure I wanted to keep. Which wasn't many. I didn't get to keep. I didn't keep many of my books when I moved because I just didn't have room. I just didn't have room for them. I still don't have room for them. I don't even have room for my manga, never mind my actual like physical like words books. And unfortunately I'm a stubborn old expletive here that doesn't really like ebooks very much. I know ebooks are so convenient and help and like good, but did you read Gantz, by the way? I have not read Gantz yet. I'm sorry. Just have a couple hundred, it's too much, I can't part with them. Oh no, I don't blame you. My dad has loads of books. My dad literally like converted an entire wall of his bedroom into shelves for books. Some of those are of some questionable content, but it's fine. If you cover your floor with 4 cabinets, it would be raised about a foot, but it would be a whole floor of extra space. I already hit my head on the ceiling sometimes, though. Please. I'm like, I'm not super short. If I was super short, it would be fine, but I'm not. I'm average height. I will keep suggesting audiobooks, and you are right. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you'll shrink with age. That's true. One day I'll fit in my own room. It's great. Hate audiobooks because most of the people cannot read properly. Oh, you mean like the people reading the books out? Ignore all the flubs I just had while reading just then. It's fine. To be fair, I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be a professional reader out louder. It's fine. I do feel bad because whenever I actually I don't know if it's noticeable whenever I reach the bottom of a page, so I'm trying to like not break my tracking, and so when I'm reading right at the very bottom of the page, I'm trying to keep my head like slightly up, but then like looking right at the bottom of my vision, and it kind of like causes eye strain. So I get a little bit dizzy while I read. But it's because if I lower my head like in the microphone, like I won't be talking at the microphone as well. Surprisingly hard to read out loud if you don't do it often. True. Also true. I think there's a lot of things that a lot of people take for granted for reading out loud as well, like pacing and like where you're meant to make the pauses and trying to differentiate different lines of dialogue and things that are only expressed through like italics and punctuation that you can't really say. Someone, let's try to record myself reading before you do. Man, I mean, I tried to record myself reading 1984 off stream before, and it drove me insane because I was so conscious of my mistakes. Also, sometimes my name does get translated to Pretty Valentine. Fun fact. In a couple of my skebs, you can see that they've wrote pretty instead of purity, just because it's that same pretty sound. Pretty. Taught myself to read out loud well because I had a speech impairment to fix. I had to read out loud a lot. Maybe a good read. It's a skill. So I was hearing impaired when I was a kid. I had hearing issues because I had ear infections a lot growing up, and so the being hard of hearing did also make it so I didn't develop my speech properly. So I had to go to speech therapy after I had the surgery on my ears so that I could learn how to talk properly. So I've had speech therapy. I don't know whether this many years later it's made a big difference. Because obviously I didn't read out loud for a long time, so who knows. Being called pretty Japan. When it's just my name. can you get a refund for the therapy for not teaching how to roll R's? You know, some people just can't, like, they're just not genetically disposed to it. I think you speak perfectly clearly. I'm glad. I try very hard to. I genuinely... Because it's so important to me as a person to be understood easily, I do try quite hard to make sure that I speak pretty clearly. I think mine was a scam. Oh, I remember one that the only part of my speech therapy I can remember is them being very specific about the F sound and the TH sound being distinctly different. I'm guessing I was pronouncing my THs as Fs, so like saying free instead of three, and I don't know, thing instead of thing or something. But also, that is actually part of an accent in the UK. In some places they do use an F instead of a TH sound. So I think that part was less my hard of hearingness and more the fact that they were like, your accent is bad. You should learn French, Arabic and Finnish. Get a real... No. Isn't Arabic really difficult? I'm pretty sure people say Arabic is one of like the hardest languages to learn. I'm not doing that. It's just a normal British accent, isn't it? What, the F's for the THs, or... Oh, speech therapy for my R's and TH too. I replaced R with W sound. Oh my god, you had a natural uwu speak. Sorry. Gotta use my fellow Latino buddies. Fire alarm's going off? Okay. Don't burn to death. Now in retrospect, these speech shooters make... Yeah, I guess. I'm kind of glad though that I don't have the... VTuber accent. The quote-unquote VTuber accent. I don't know. It's not that I think it sounds bad, it's just that's not how I want to speak day to day. That's not how I want to sound on a day-to-day basis. Like, even when I do my quote-unquote cutesy voice, I think that still sounds different from the VTuber accent. F equals TH. It's the British accent in some parts of the country. It's regional. One of the kids in my school back in grade 1 6 times speech therapy. Crazy. Tons of musicians getting everything from report. What? That's crazy. What do you mean you do though? I don't know. What, oh, do you know what I mean by the VTuber accent? Who normally gets said that they have it? I know. I think Shy Lily and Vebe are like very popular examples of the accent. Curie has the Oxford accent with northern traits and a dash of genetic Scottish. Two people sort of looking alike. I mean, I don't watch either of those people, so. You vague post. No, it's not that I hate her. I just don't like how she treats her chat. I just think she is unnecessarily mean to her chat. And I just dislike that. I don't know who either of those people are, that's fine. You don't have to. The lewd to be eagle inflection? Yeah, I guess. I guess that's... Didn't say it. Yeah, I remember 2020 going into her stream and being like, why is she so mean to her chat? What is going on? But you know, every VTuber has their own quirks. I'll leave them to it. None of my business. Nothing in the barracks and the fire alarm goes off. Normally it's supposed to go up so many times it's a false alarm. Yeah. The boy who cried wolf. To be fair, when the fire alarm goes off so often in my house that I ignore it. I also ignore the fire alarm when it goes off. I would like to believe if the fire alarm went off and there was an actual fire, someone would actually like yell. They'd be like, purity! Actual fire! Have you happened to listen to the recently re-debuted Crocodile? I mean, I used to watch her before she was a crocodile. I haven't watched her as a crocodile, but I'm aware of the way that the accent rolls the R's. Yes, I have not. These things are so sensitive. They are so sensitive to cooking. You can't even make bloody like anything. It's bad for the. Oh, are they automatic? They automatically call. I take mine out because every time I cooked it went off. We have the batteries in about half the time. Just don't burn your food. Well, sometimes it's just the steam. Even the steam can set it off. So whenever I cook in my kitchen, like we have to keep the door closed to the hallway because if any of the steam reaches the hallway, it's like death and central. They have to come no matter what, and the cops to Jesus Christ. That sounds like a pain, but I guess it is in the case that, just in case. Don't burn my food, I make bacon or use a single drop of cooking oil. I remember when I made that steak while I was cat sitting, when I made that steak and I turned the extractor on, but I just turned it on like half, and then I started cooking, just the amount of steam and like that came up, I was like, oh no, they're going to think I'm burning their house down. I ran to like shut the kitchen door and quickly like turned up the extraction fan so it didn't set anything off because I wasn't sure if they would get like an automatic alert that their alarms were going off. It's like, how did cat sitting go? We got a fire alarm alert in the middle of while we were getting married. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it, it's fine. I need to marry quickly so I can get a house. That's not gonna happen. What? There's a lot. There's some Americanness happening in my chat right now that I don't fully understand, but I'm gonna leave you guys to it. You guys are communicating. Also, about liking steaks like briskets, I prefer not having to hack the layer of charcoal to get to the meat. I like a bit of a mild reaction, but I don't like to get to the charcoal. I have mine I'm sorry, you could literally see my reactions to when you guys send a chat that I'm like, oh goodness. A brisket will probably take a whole month off one side. I don't really fully know what a brisket is. I mean, I'm just surprised, I guess. Do not make that the plan, do not buy. Thank you. Okay, well, you guys are talking about strippers and hookers and whatever. I'll go Google brisket. Okay. I don't think I've ever had brisket. I don't think I've ever had brisket. You literally wear your uniform outside for the most part. Mokum will gravitate to you for what? I'm worrying that you're sending one of my viewers astray, guys. Para's been in my chat since he was a fetus. I still remember Para telling us about that one girl that didn't go right for. I'm worried. Para, choose a righteous path. I'm adult. You're adult now. I've known you since you were 16. This is fucked up. Choose a righteous path. Choose a righteous path. Actually, what do you mean actually 14? What do you mean actually 14? I've not been streaming for that long. He will go down that route eventually. It's about getting it out the way. So he has to do it and then he can go a righteous path? I mean 15? Okay. Does this no, Barry, no. This is part of growing up. Oh god. Okay. His redemption arc? Okay. Para, good luck. Good luck, Para. Just don't become jaded and hating of the world, okay? Just blessing. Fuck. Oh dear. I feel like something terrible has happened here this night. I am not the person to comment and ask for wedding blessings from. I am anti, and I'm literally like forever spinster, or whatever the term is. This is not my fault! This is not my... Nope. I'm worried. I think the... I'm not a lesbian either. I also do not want to marry a woman. I'm good. I'm fine. I do not want another person in. Do you want to be a lesbian? No. No, I do not want to be a lesbian. I want to marry for a house. Why does marrying get you a house? Like what? Like what part of the equation does that get you a house? Tax benefits? Do you at least want? Do I talk about my family? My parents never got married, so like for me, marriage has like never been a concept that even sounded like it had any point. Like, it just seemed like a pointless ceremony. Scales the cost of housing your area. You had E5 or and skip that by B. What the hell? Speaking of that, I don't remind me of my taxes. I've got to do that in the next 2 months as well. I'm gonna spinster for it. Hey, I think you only count as a spinster once you're like starting to get out of normal marriage age. 2 people can finagle their expenses in a way that both end up with far more than they ever could if they lived alone. Even they also pay you more if you have what? Okay, but isn't having a kid in America really expensive? Like, don't you have to pay thousands to the hospital? Like paying to have a child is expensive. About tricking. Oh my god, don't say tricking! Don't say tricking! If you're military and have a kid, your kid's probably more likely to rise and invest. Oh my god. I'm trying not to become jaded. 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 I'm trying to... Okay, whatever, it's fine. I feel bad for a child that is only brought into the world for the monetary benefits. Honestly, I don't know what your MOS is. Puri is now just learning about the military-industrial complex. Yes. I don't know much of anything about the military-industrial complex. Join the dark side, become rock, paper, scissors. Like, you have no complications in the hospital, your delivery is covered by your insurance, you get away relatively scot-free. Welcome to the American Military Industrial Complex. I hate that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I kind of knew things were a bit screwed. Like, when I got nearly kidnapped by that guy in Georgia, he was, Air Force. American Military Air Force. So that gave me a tiny bit of insight, but obviously I was dealing with other things at the time, so I didn't really stick around to find out what the rest of that was about. I was busy trying not to be kidnapped and locked in someone's basement, so like... Force. This is an army VTuber. Oh, that is an army VTuber. Oh, you mean Tamai? I'm aware. They have a lot of time on their hands. That explains why you had so much time to plot for me to nearly get abducted. I'm fine. I'm over it. That was years ago now. That was like 8 years ago now. I learnt my lesson. It's a harsh way to learn a lesson, but I learnt it. Literally now, every single time I'm like, oh, I'm thinking of going to America. Havoc is like, you better tell you. Are you gonna be safe? Are you gonna be okay? Because Havoc had front row seats to when all that stuff happened. You wanna let me know where he lives, by the way, on his name? JK, unless. I do have his legal name. I don't know his address. I think he moved. We'll strap you up, you'll be safe. Sorry I had to, I mean, yeah, it did suck. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it did suck, but, nothing super permanently life-changing ended up happening. So I have now it's just like a fun, well, that happened kind of thing. My pepper spray, if you go to America and buy it in most stores, it's $15. Don't need permit or ID or anything. Pepper spray sucks. Did they put you in the chamber, or did they just like grab a can and like spray you in the face? Because I've heard different stories from different military people. Nothing permanently life-changing, just a mental trauma. Okay, here's the thing, right? I mean, I talk about how the fact I was, before I started VTubing, I was very defensive. I was very scared of people. And, you know, because of stuff like that, because of getting backstabbed, because of, like, a constant, like, friend group politics. Like, oh, if you talk to this person, you'll be a social outcast because that person has been deemed as like a bad person to speak to. I think I've made a full recovery. I think I've made a full recovery from that. I'm very worried about you almost all the time. We need to get you bear spray. They use pepper spray, don't they do the tear gas chamber anymore? Went through the OC spray. Man, they're using jargon. They're using freaking jargon. They have to bring Pez into this. Pluvium is saying that because he knows the one. He's the one who would be potentially getting bear spray. I don't have to move past all you. Maybe. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't wish any of the stuff that I've had to deal with on any other people. But I can't live in like a fear of. Like a constant paranoia. Like, well, I am paranoid actually. I'm lying. I am paranoid. Yeah, I already don't go outside a lot. I already don't do a lot, so it feels like limiting the ways that I interact with people even more, just based on one person being terrible, just doesn't feel like a good way to live. You're paranoid. Ha! Yeah, you got me. Finally, Puri had a husband who could do all shopping and go full hickey mode. Sorry about those 15 plans that are in action to destroy you. I started if that's what you're 15 plans that are... Wait, they're in action? What do you mean they're in action? What do you mean they're in action? Can you cancel them? A slow burn? Why do you want to destroy... The bro said to disregard. Okay. My bad. Question mark. Anyway. I'm fine. Don't worry. Thanks Blue. Thanks Blue Rats. There's a few that are too late to stop. Why are you guys trying to destroy? Circuit is in. Why are you guys trying to do? Wait, what are you doing? What kind? Wait, what? Okay, actually, what kind of destruction is this? Like, there are different, like, is it killing, or is it like reputation, or is it like psychological, or like what kind of? Like, what kind of destruction are we talking about? I live in fear of having to wake up at 4 AM for morning. It's 4 AM right now. Bro needs to know everything. No, I just didn't put enough thought into the bit. I have to get, okay, thank you. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to know, to see how the plans to destroy me are. You don't need to. No, but I want to. I'm curious. What if I could help? What if can I help, guys? Can I help? Can I help destroy me? We're putting you in the Hunger Games? Oh shit! I'm not gonna survive the fucking Hunger Games. I'm gonna starve to death. I'm not even like, I would kill someone in the Hunger Games, but I would starve in the Hunger Games. Like, whatever match I'm in would have to end really fast, or else I'm going to starve to death. Like, we're gonna have to speed run. We're gonna have to fucking speed run the Hunger Games for me to make it. Doesn't want to prevent it, wants to help. Please enlighten her to your nefarious plans. Listen, I've had some plans for self-destruction in my life. Don't think about that too hard. I'm just curious how other people would approach it. That's all. None of my plans involve homestuck. Come on, you've got... Okay, you need to make 16 plans, and one of them needs to include a Komodo dragon. 16 plans, Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon. Please. 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 You killed someone, why would... I'm not... No, I think eating a human would probably be gross. Not only because supposedly they taste of pork, but also, like, think of all the contaminants a human eats in their lifetime. Between the alcohol, the meds, everything. Like, no. I just don't think pork... I can eat it. No, it's not that I don't like it, it's just not my favourite. It's not my favourite. Yeah, the organ meat would suck. The organ meat would be horrible. The whole thing is to break your legs and then leave you to die of infection. Yeah, it's kind of partially true, partially not true. I love Komodo dragons. I adore Komodo dragons. It's interesting that I never list them as like one of my favourite animals, but they probably are one of my favourite animals. But yeah, I love Komodo dragons, so I wouldn't mind. I think brains might taste... No way. Well, okay, I don't know about the taste, but yeah, I think the texture would be so revolting. Like, ugh. Nope. We'll ask people to play Subtlety Rogue and like it. Crazy. Don't eat human brains, that's how you get your prions folded. I mean, yeah, I would never eat any animal's brain. also because of prion disease. I had a No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You can't have a they're endangered. Oh, they're on like one island. What do you mean you had a Komodo dragon as a pet? What do you mean? Surely you mean some other kind of monitor lizard. Some animal brains are supposed to be idyllic, supposedly. Either way, I'm not eating brain. I think it'd be gross. Most organ meat I also wouldn't eat. I would never eat liver or lung or eyeball or male sex organs or just no. Nope. Nope, none of that. Thank you. Honestly, I would be 100% happy with eating now. I feel like the texture of tongue would be bad. You would try an eyeball? No, I wouldn't, because I've poked an eyeball, like one outside of a body. Like, not, I don't mean, well, I have poked my own eyeballs, but I mean like an actual like sheep's eye. I do not think that would be. Those some chatters, blue rats. Sorry. Yeah, no. I would be happy to eat lab grown meat. I would be happy to eat lab grown meat. I actually do you guys do these things by choice? I would never. Yeah, I mean, if I ever stop eating animal products, I would starve to death. So, but yeah, most stuff is not good. And I'm not I'm not squeamish, but I am about the stuff that I eat. Blue Rat's real name is Hardcastle? Doxed? Oh shit. I'm so sorry YouTube would dox you, Miss Castle. I think it's an exotic yet fantastic tenderloin. Less sure. Anyway. Wow, who would have thought that I missed streaming because I didn't stream for 2 weeks and then I would yap for 2 hours and a half. No, I'm not really interested in eating heart either. I feel like it would be too... It's a hard working muscle. It's a really hard working muscle. Reverted display names to usernames or something, that's why I have this. Would eat heart. But heart is disgusting, I don't recommend it. Like liver, but oh. Very different kind of muscle from what we usually eat. Yeah, I don't know, I just don't think I don't think it's appealing. The only reason I would bite into a heart is for purely aesthetic purely aesthetic reasons. Yeah, no, so cute gets it, so cute gets it. I'll just like dig a fang into it just for the aesthetic. Anyway, next week I'm gonna start reading from my World of Warcraft lore book. We're going to read World of Warcraft lore. Sorry if you don't care about World of Warcraft. It's still reading, so I guess if you fall asleep fast enough, you don't have to care about the words. Pure white, lab-grown heart. White from never having blood pumped through it. Never fighting again, but it was so pretty. I feel like I've heard about it before. Told on my first hunting trip, if I didn't bite the heart, it'd be bad luck, so I did, just being an autistic child. Have you ever been told you're a bit weird? Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Hello, Tower Shield. This is a 364. I don't think YouTube actually allows you to stream for that long. I think YouTube does put a stop to your stream. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna start reading World of Warcraft. From the book I don't have War of the Ancients. I have the Mythos, Origins, Titans, Ordering of the Universe, Void Lords, Birth of the Old Gods, Rise of Demons, stuff. You run YouTube. Can you do a better freaking job, please? Can you sort this shit out? No. You sound just like the CEO of YouTube. Let's go. Anyway, that'll be next week. Thank you for reading. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming by. Sorry for missing last week. I don't remember what happened. I feel like was I asleep last week? I might have been asleep last week. 3DO mic is. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I know. It's not too obvious that I'm using the 3DO mic. Well, compared to my normal mic is, but the actual like 3D aspect isn't too thing because I don't specifically like speak into one side and then move to another side, like kind of thing. I don't take a huge advantage of that. That I still feel like it is a better experience to use this mic for the reading. I hadn't realized. Yeah. This is immersive. This is immersive. Is it intersects form pirate paladin with a god family good? No. That is a lot. Steal their power through by eating their hearts. Anyway, yes, we're going to go. I'm going to go. Let me pause the music. Am I streaming the rest of this week? I don't know. Don't call me a 6'6" paladin. Rude to me. Rude to me. Don't you have any? No. Hold on, I got some blue tack. No, I don't. That was a lie. I just lied to you. Sorry. Yeah, no, I don't have anything. See, 10 years? No. Anyway, yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Don't know when. I'll try and keep Twitter updated. We'll see. But until next time, get something to eat, get something to drink, get some rest, take your meds, pay your bills. Christmas is a month away. Don't forget to buy Christmas presents. I haven't done it. I need to leave the house and buy my family Christmas presents before it's too late and the outside world gets too busy. It's fine. Good night. Onyasumi. Good night.